Today's video, we're going to talk about an ad offer that you can run on Facebook or on other different ad platforms like Google Display Network or LinkedIn ads to be able to make an 800+% ROI on your campaigns, which for most of you guys, that's obviously probably good enough. In order to just spend every single dollar you have on that ad campaign or ad offer that you're putting together. So with that said, I'm going to give you the actual mechanics behind this ad and offer combination that we have put together for a couple of different clients here at our PPC firm, so you could actually use that for yourself. I'll go over all the specific details, some tips and so forth, as well as some different examples of what different markets this will actually work in, so you'll have everything you'll need by the end of the video to be able to do this for yourself completely. So that said, I'll get right into the content here. So first off, what this offer basically is, in short, what you're saying through your ad is, get the results shown in this photo or video, or get your money back. So I've talked about it in other videos. One of the great things that you can do for your PPC campaign, if you're not running search engine advertising, but you're running display ads, which is basically ads that are not running on search engines, that you show your results. There's a whole saying in marketing that basically says, and you probably heard it anyway, even if you're not in marketing traditionally, people don't buy drills. They buy the holes or the 1/4-inch hole that the drill makes. They want the results. They don't give a shit about how they get the results on a lot of occasions. They want the results. And at least in terms of what you need to do as an advertiser to make money with PPC ads, display ads particularly, you need to be able to get people's attention at a high rate, because if you don't get people's attention at a high rate, the cost of running that ad is going to go sky high, because every time somebody you want to see your ad and that your ad gets in front of that doesn't get noticed by the individual you want to notice it, you have to pay for a missed opportunity. If you pay for enough missed opportunities, the ROI of that campaign goes down and down and down to the point where you're not making money anymore. So you got to be able to be great at getting attention. And there's nothing really better than getting someone's attention most of the time than actually just showing what that product or service is going to do in terms of the results, because that's what people want. And then you just have to find people who want those results, get those results in front of them. That's all you basically need to make money with display ads. So the offer I'm talking about here is one of the best, if not the best way to get someone's attention and know you mean business right away in what you're doing. You're not just saying, hey, you want to grow 6 feet taller, but you don't show or say how you're doing it. Showing specifically how you're getting the results, or just basically that you are getting the results, is the key to it all, if you will. You can show the results, and of course, beyond that, you actually want to also show how you're getting the results. If it's too good to be true, you do want to combine those two together. But with that said, so what you're doing is you're showing an ad that shows how you're getting those results and the results themselves. So ideally, one and the same. If you're going to show how to hit a baseball 500 feet, you're doing it by selling somebody a bat, or through the use of a bat that you sell. You show somebody hitting the baseball 500 feet, but you do it with obviously your product in hand. So so people know, and you can get their attention right away with the results they want, but they right away also know with that it's believable, because you're showing them how to do it in the same video or the same image, if you will, if you can do that through an image. So ideally, if you can show the results but you can't show how you're doing it in the same frame, then you want to do it, it's clear that you need to be able to, it's going to be a little bit too good to believe. You want to try to show them one after another, if you will. But beyond that, you can show the results to get someone's attention in an ad really easy, but sometimes you can show just the reactions that people get when they're getting the results. So in that, the reaction itself, because people take notice of somebody that's excited or surprised or wowed, that in itself can be a good ad in itself to run as well. So this good example where this comes in is gifts. If the gift is, you're going to give somebody a gift, you can see the reaction of the person getting the gift, and that can be the so-called results, because the results are you're trying to ultimately make somebody happy. So the results, so the reaction is the results, if you will. So in some of you guys' different applications, you may go with something like that, but the general idea is you show the results / how to get the results to make it credible, but then you tie it back to get the results. To take things further here, get these results or get your money back. So in the same breath, if it's a little bit too good to be true, you can see obviously the results that you want there in front of your eyes, and hopefully right away how those results are being achieved. But then also on top of that, to really cement in that this isn't too good to be true and it will work for me, because a lot of times people believe, oh yeah, it worked for him or it worked for her, but I don't think it's going to work for me. You're actually saying if it doesn't work for you, we'll give you your money back. So get these results or we'll give you your money back. That's pretty much as good of an offer as you could possibly make to somebody who wants those type of results in their life. You want here's the results. It's clear as day. You can see those results. You want them. Here's what, all you got to do is buy your product or service. If it doesn't work for you, we'll give you your money back. What else could you ask for? It literally has everything that the person can ask for in buying a product or service. So anyway, that's in a nutshell the offer that I'm talking about here that gets the 800% plus ROI on an ad campaign when you get it out there, at least when you get it out there in front of the right people. So the caveat to all this is you still got to be good at narrowing down your targeting to get the person who wants the results. If you show it to somebody who doesn't want the results, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. You got to still be able to get good through Google Display Network or through Facebook to really narrow down your targeting to the point where at least 1% of the people you're showing the results to would buy a product or service to get those results if they knew of that product or service and that the product or service could get results in general in the first place. So that's your goal with your targeting. If you can do that, this ad, you'll get an 800+% ROI from it. We know because we've used this ad at our firm. Anyway, so some different examples here of different companies where we've done this exact thing is what I'm going to go into next. The first of which is a ball handling / shooting course. So it was a course that an individual put together that was for like young kids in school that want to be able to play basketball better on their team, middle school, high school basketball, more so like the basic side. It wouldn't be for like college basketball players or anything like that. But with that, my job was to help this person market the product. And with that, what the typical person's going to think that isn't thinking outside the box is, well, let's target people who are in middle school, high school that are basketball players, and we'll say, here's a course to help you, dribble better, shoot better, all of this different stuff. And what I'm immediately thinking of then, when I have to brainstorm how are we going to sell this course through the PPC ads, I'm thinking of ultimately, in order for somebody to get excited about this, they have to actually see it in action. So it's basically screw showing a picture of what the course, ebook looks like, essentially. Skip all that. Show somebody actually, a younger person in that general age demographic, dribbling well and shooting well. And do that, and not just one person, but show somebody shooting 4, 5 baskets in a row, and then dribbling all crazy. Then another person doing it, and then another person doing it within a 30-second kind of time span. That commercial did very well. But it did well in itself because it showed the results, but in addition to that, it didn't do nearly as well without the get results like this or get your money back in that. So that person thinks, I'm not that talented. I don't, probably would work for somebody else, but it wouldn't work for me. That initial objection that a lot of people we know are bringing up in the sales process, which you should study your sales process and understand what people are normally saying that are causing them not to buy if you do hear from your customers before they buy, which you should all have some questions that get asked through your customer service email or through the phone that you have. And if you don't, you need to start collecting this information so that you can change your offer and change your pitch to just, extinguish these objections or drain the objections. And so with that, say you get the money back if this doesn't work for you, helped tremendously. And a lot of people selling courses say, get your money back. So that in and itself isn't that unique, but the combination of having the results shown there to them and get your money back is the perfect medley, essentially, that made this campaign work extremely, extremely well on Facebook. Okay, so we did this with video ads, but we also went in to eventually do this on Google Display Network. But because the visual component, you can't really show through a static image, someone dribbling well and all that. What we did is we used HTML5 ads, so animated banner ads, in other words. A lot of people don't think of this when they're trying to advertise on Google Display Network. You can use an HTML5 ad to work like a video ad in and itself, but have the same pitch there. And with that said, if you find something that works on Facebook, I've said on this channel many times, you should try to run it on other platforms, because generally speaking, exactly what worked on one platform will work on another. Once you got the ad and the type of targeting that you need down, what works on Facebook will work on Google Display Network and vice versa. But the one thing about this is, I want to point out, advertising this way and coming up with this, using this offer or something else that'll work for you like this, gets you out of competing in the search results space. So I mentioned you should always start with Google search ads on this channel, because obviously it's an easy way to make money when you're selling to somebody who already wants what you have. Then you just got to be able to outdo your competitors in terms of the click-through rates and the conversion rates of your ad and your landing page that you're taking people to. That said, a lot of different markets, it's very, very competitive, and you could still make some money, but the margins are less because you have a lot of competition and there's only so many people searching. So, which is why you usually get into doing display advertising outside of search engine advertising. But in general, even if you can get a lot of customers through Google search, the margins are much, much less than coming out with a good offer that you could sell to somebody so-called in a vacuum, where they're not cross-comparing you to other people like they do through Google search, or if they're looking at search engines. So you should try to do display advertising just from the standpoint that the margins are going to be much better. You can scale more, generally speaking, but your margins will also be better. This is just one really, really effective way that'll work for lots of different markets. I'm not going to say every single time it'll work, because some things are just so technical. It's hard to use this exact offer, but this is a good offer that'll work for, let's say, 70+% of you guys out there. So that's the first one that got over an 800% ROI and still using it to this day to market that particular course on Facebook, on Google Display Network. The second offer here, now this one is very unusual. This was a jeweler who was selling engagement rings and anniversary gifts and all the usual stuff that a jeweler that sells jewelry to female customers mainly, because that's typically who buys jewelry for the most part, as far as overall jewelry purchases. With that, I knew of, just because I'm an avid studier of marketing and advertising, as I've been doing it for 15 years now, I've heard of different people offering for the engagement rings. If you go ahead and buy a ring from a jeweler, I first heard this when I was living in Omaha, an individual jeweler doing this, and I pay attention to this stuff and kind of archive it in case I need it later. But what they would do is they would offer for free, basically, if you buy a engagement ring for your soon-to-be fiance, or the girl that you want to be your fiance, obviously if you buy that ring and you bring it to her and she's, you ask, will you marry me? And she says no, you basically wasted several $1,000s. And going back to what I said before, you got to understand your consumer's mindset as to when people that you pitch to buy your product or service, what are they saying is the reasons why they won't buy when they say they won't buy, and you got to be able to get rid of those things in your pitch to have good response rates from your pitch overall. And one of the main things is they don't know, at least for engagement rings, they don't know if it's going to work. They don't know if their person they want to be their fiance is going to say yes. So what they did is they said if your soon-to-be wife or person that you want to be your wife says no, we'll actually buy back the ring at no cost, and so there's no risk. And that worked extremely well. It worked so well that lots of different jewelers are now using this, okay? So it's not so much of a competitive edge as it once was, but that was really smart. They figured out how to essentially have an edge on their competition when something is, it's that particular thing that I brought up is something that a lot of people think of before they buy the product. So they started making a workaround so that it wasn't an issue for their customers anymore, and therefore they got more customers than anybody else, at least for a while. Taking that a step further, what we did was, as it comes to search engine advertising and trying to sell diamonds on Google search is very, very competitive. There's lots of different options out there, and frankly, they're all kind of interchangeable in a way. They don't have the same pieces, but there's 100 sites online that are selling good quality diamonds, diamond earrings, diamond rings, and so forth. So I thought about that situation, and on top of that, I thought, well, what are the main reasons and occasions that people are buying jewelry? Anniversaries, obviously engagement/weddings, but then there's also these promise rings, or basically the rings that guys buy their girls to promise that they're going to be in a relationship and loyal to them, and they're not looking for another girl. At least going steady is what some people call it. Anyway, with that, I thought if the engagement ring thing works to where you can purely wrap your whole commercial around the risk mitigation of asking your girlfriend to be your wife, you could buy a ring and either it works or it doesn't work, you can take it back. You basically have a way to leverage and get her to say yes without any risk. Why don't we apply this to somebody who wants a girlfriend, who the girl's seeing multiple guys, technically dating different guys. You really want to be able to lock that girl down. Why don't we actually have it to where you can do the same thing there? Give a ring to a girl that you want to be your official girlfriend, and basically make it so that you guys are exclusive, if you will, and do the same thing to where not only this kind of thing, put the idea in the guys' minds that this not only works to give her a ring or to bring it up again, because it's something that a lot of guys do but not a lot of people also think about, but also do it from the standpoint taking the idea from the engagement side of the things. We'll buy your ring back from you. If you go ahead and buy a ring to have a girl go steady with you, we'll buy it back. And so there's no risk in that. You buy a ring, this will basically guarantee get the result you want, and if it don't, you're not at least going to lose any money. So it's like a win-win situation. So this is the type of outside of the box thinking you got to do to come up with a good display advertising offer that's going to be able to get these 800+% ROIs. You can't just say, here's my product, you want to buy it, here's my service, you want to buy it. You got to think about ways to do things that are really going to tap into the user's needs. But there's plenty of ways to do this for no matter what you're selling. In this situation, so that's what we did. And ultimately, not only did we say, do you want that girl to be your girlfriend? Give her a promise ring that she'll never that she'll love you for and she'll never forget. If she says no, we'll give you your money back for the ring. Just bring it back to her store, no questions asked. And so with that was essentially what the offer was. And in addition to that, going back to the reactions thing, we showed the reactions of a girl. And when a guy who bought one of our rings brought it to the girl and what her reaction was. And so the ad essentially was showing the reaction, showing, do you want that girl of your dreams? Give her a promise ring and she'll basically love you and you'll have her. And if she says no for whatever reason, we'll take the ring back. That ad it worked very, very, very well. To the point where they were running and they were spending at least minimum of 10 grand a month shortly after we came up with this ad on Facebook, and just ran it and ran it and ran it. I don't know if anybody else has picked up on this and started doing it as well, but with the time that I had put together this offer for the client, we were still running it. And so with that, that's the type of thing that you can do. You can show the reaction of your customer, or you can show the results themselves, and you can guarantee that they will get the same results if they were to do it themselves too. And so now we just got to target, like in my example, we know of the people who are in the age of needing, want to go get serious and steady with a girl, would be the age of 21 to basically 28 years old. We target them, target with somebody with in an income demographic that we know can afford a ring. Then we have that perfect ad set up, we can start to make money. And so anyway, with that in and itself wasn't a video ad itself. It was just a photo of the girl looking, shocked / surprised / happy. And that's what worked. The video ads in and itself, I'm sure they also would have worked just as good. We never actually even had to go there. But, and could have set that up on a different occasion to get the video. All we had in this particular situation was a photo from the customer itself, but that's an example of what you can do. We paired this, by the way, with a payment plan on top of it. So going back to what I said before, you got to figure out what are the pain points. Why does somebody not buy from you? If you had one of your proposed or one of your prospects in front of you, if you had one of your prospective customers in front of you and you were selling to them face to face, and you're selling something fairly big, obviously, like you're selling them a car, what would be all the things they're telling you why they can't buy it today? You start logging those things, and you try to figure out how to work that into your offer and your ad to make people that think that not have that as an issue anymore. So ultimately, one of the things as it comes to this particular deal / market, younger guys needing to buy a ring for not to be engaged, but going steady, or a promise ring, they don't have as much money. They're usually younger, on the younger side of things. So with that payment plan, pay off. Not only can you get a ring to get that girl you want locked down before the other guy she's seeing gets her, but you could pay for this over the next 5 years. So you basically, as long as you have one paycheck, you can get this done today. And tying that in there made it even more successful. So this is the type of thing you need to do when you need to come up with an ad for your own market. As it comes to your own market, this actual showing the results and then guaranteeing that the customer will get the results, or prospect will get those results or their money back, this can be applied, like I said, to a ton of different markets. 70+% of you guys can actually use this and have it work similarly for you, particularly if you have really good results. So I wrote down some other ideas from other markets where this certainly would work, to give you an idea of other, so basically you're not going to say to yourself, oh, well, that's just a course, or that's a jewelry company. It ain't going to work in my market. I know for sure it would work in a ton of these other markets, even though I haven't done it yet. You should just go out and do it. It doesn't cost you that much money to put together an offer. That you might lose a few $100 putting together an offer like that. The upside is millions of dollars. So you make enough bets like these in your business, you're going to come out ahead. I could see, even if you were like a fitness coach, this would work. Why not just show, if you were a fitness coach, or if I were a fitness coach, I would just show the results of one of my clients who got really good results, put a picture of them and say, you can get results like this, or I'll guarantee your money back. And a lot of people, the reason why they wouldn't necessarily do this is because they're afraid of giving their money back to people who don't get good results. I mean, the reality is here, this is a very important point. Very, very few people are going to ask for their money back, because the people who don't get good results are the ones who don't put, generally, as you know, they aren't doing it right, and they're not putting enough effort in. And people know that they're not doing that, so therefore they're not going to ask for their money back, because they're going to know they're at fault. Some people will, but it'll be like 10% of the people. And so if you have to give your money back to 10% of the people in order to get the other 9 out of 10 people at a very, very low rate, the math still works out to everything is still kosher as far as the economics of your campaign. Is it profitable or not for you to run? So, it's all just comes down to math. You run the test, do it for a while, see how many people ask for their money back, compare that to how much you're making on the other people who don't ask for their money back, and just try to be agnostic about it. But certainly if you come in, and I'm a fitness coach, and you're supposed to come in every week, and I know if you can pretty much guarantee if you follow these steps, you're gonna be in great shape. The only way you wouldn't is if you didn't follow the instructions. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you guarantee results like this? Of course, it's going to take you 2 years. You don't have to put that in the ad, but you do this, work the program for 2 years, you will look like this, and you don't eat like shit and all this other stuff. But why would you not do that? Would for sure work in that situation. It would also work in other areas. Like let's say you do vehicle wraps. Those wraps that you put around your car to make it look like it's repainted. Instead of repainting a car, you can put a vinyl wrap around it. Why not in that situation, if you were in that business, just show some different, you could rotate out the ads, so different designs that resonate with different people. You'd make sure to get as many people as you could with it, but show a picture of the wrap of a client's car that you just did, and just say, you get results like these or your money back. So essentially, instead of just going with a boring offer looking like, here, look at our customers' great results, and that being the thing here, why not turn it into a call to action here? The call to action being, get this done for your car and have it look just as nice, or we'll give you your money back. And again, that design may not be the way that they want their car to look, so to say, but you could rotate out 10 different design ads like that, each ad having a different design, until you hit it on a point, on a style that the consumer basically wants. And of course, with that, you still got to, like I said, you got to get it in front of somebody who normally would buy a vehicle wrap. And the best of the best there would be somebody who's already wrapped their car already before. And to be able to get targeting like that done, it's possible. I've talked about it on other videos where you can go on Nextmark, go to Nextmark lists, mailing lists on Google, find that, type in vehicle detailing companies, and you can find people who go to vehicle detail shops and make purchases and buy the purchase list from other vehicle detail shops. Yes, you can do this. And then you can take the email list and you can upload it to Facebook. So then you got people that likely bought a wrap. Maybe not everybody on that list has bought a wrap, but at least 10% of the people, which is already good enough. If you can already get 10% of the people on your targeted list that you're targeting, people who already buy or would buy your product, you're already good. Then you just hit them with the ad saying, have your car look like this or your money back. It's a good way to take a boring product or a service and make it exciting again by essentially betting that our wraps are so good that if you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. We're crazy enough to take that risk. We do the same thing at our firm with our guaranteed PPC offer. Let us manage your PPC ads. If you don't get another 20, 50% of results on your campaign, not only do you not get your money back, you don't even have to pay anything until we get you the first 25, 50, 75, 100% of the initial sales increase from your ads on the same ad spend. So, and what it does is it gets people to say, if he's crazy enough or they're crazy enough to do that, it must be good. So that's essentially what the, get your money back part of the deal, does. But just saying you get your money back for a vehicle wrap service isn't that great. Showing someone's great results and then pairing it with get results like this, it makes it even better. You could do this with makeovers. If you ran a salon, if you ran a salon, would you not just show the results of the girls that come into your salon, given they have their hair bleached or the makeup that they're doing? I don't know what they all do at the salons anymore these days, but whatever it is, do that. Target people other women who go to spend decent money at salons, which you could do through the email list upload method that I talked about, and then just show get results like these or get your money back. It's a very compelling offer because if you see the results, you're like, wow. And then you see, I can get the same results or get my money back. That gets my attention. It gets your attention enough that it'll work. Just showing, look at these results isn't good enough, and just saying your money back isn't good enough. But when you pair the two, get great results. Remodeling. What if you're an interior designer / remodeler type, or neither one of those technical spaces there? Why not just show again the results of your customers as they come through? Every single time you have an amazing result you give a customer, you make an ad and say get results like this or get your money back. It's the most compelling way to get results, because if you say, hire get your kitchen remodel, it's not that compelling. But what showing your customer that you've worked for, showing their results does is it builds envy in the user's minds. Ooh, I want that. It looks good. Oh, I'm jealous. And then when you say you can get that, and if you don't get that, we'll give you your money back, then it's like you're tapping it. You're first building up the greed and envy, and then you're extracting it. And it's a 1-2 that works very, very well. Spend management. So if you're saying, Corey, this is all B2C services, selling to consumers, not businesses. I sell to businesses. If you're selling to businesses, this really is the same way. It can't be done quite the same way visually as I talked about in my previous examples, but we had a company who they did spend management, where they come into your company and they look at all the stuff you're paying for and they renegotiate better deals with the companies that you're buying services from, and all your vendors and stuff like that. Figure out how to eliminate waste on stuff that you certainly don't need or could buy an alternative version. They save you money, and with that, they take a cut of everything they save. They save your company. In that situation, why not have an ad that shows a check that says, on the check, your name, and then an amount like $82,000, and then say, our client got $82,000 back from our company for free, and then get the same results or pay nothing or get your money back. In this case, you don't even have to give your money back because it's all a contingency. You don't even pay up front. Sometimes some of these companies do make you pay up front. They just make sure that you make more. The idea is that you make more back in the savings than you are paying them to come in. But in either case, the check there will get someone's attention right away. Everybody wants $82,000. When you say, we'll come in and save you money, that's nebulous type of thing. But when you physically show a check of somebody getting that money back and saying you could have this for free, otherwise we'll give you all your money back, who is not going to buy that? And basically, I know that seems like just one niche, but every niche in the business-to-business space is either about making money or saving money. If it's about saving money, show them a check showing how much they saved. If they're making money, do the same thing. Here's how much money we made them. And you're not visually giving them a check, but the visual of the check gets their attention right away. It doesn't look like a typical ad. And then when you say you're going to get this, you're going to get your money back, how would you not generate a shitload of leads doing that? We know that the check works extremely good because we've used that exact method many times before. The check will get anyone's attention. So in a business-to-business context, that's the type of thing I would use there for your company. And the last example here I wanted to mention was pressure washing. So anything to do with cleaning. It's highly visual. The best part about hiring a cleaning service is when you come in and it's all cleaned, or carpet cleaning service or whatever. I just mentioned pressure washing. If I was a pressure washing company, which is, if you don't know what that is, it's just like where they have a machine that it sprays water under high pressure, and you can clean the sidewalk off all the gum and dirt and everything. You can clean off your house, the siding on your house so it looks like brand new again. This is just a couple of examples of what you do, what you can use pressure washing for. So if I was a pressure washing company, I would just go and I'd find a really, really, really bad place, like an ice cream shop that had where people take the gum out of their mouth and throw it on the ground all the time, and then they got gum all over the place, I'd come and I'd offer to spray it all off for free as long as I could use, so I could get the content, and then I would show a before and after there on and run a Facebook ad before and after, and then say, doesn't this look amazing? Get the same results this shop got, or it's free. So you could basically see exactly what I get, and either it's going to resonate with me or it's not, and know that I can get the same results if it's going to be free. Well, there's no question as to whether or not I can get the same thing done. And if I have a crappy looking driveway, I know I can, it's everything that you need to convey to the user in one little tight package, which is why it works so well. But anyway, that's some other examples of where this could work in other markets and what you would do there as well. So I didn't mention my facelift in a jar. One of the most famous examples of this, even though it's not a visual representation, actually came from a Gary Halbert offer, which is a famous copywriter who put together a whole bunch of different offers and did a lot of display advertising for different products he came out with. And they had a cream that's supposed to help tighten your skin for women to make them make them look less old, if you will. And they had said in the copy on that, they said it's like a facelift in a jar. So it gives you the visualization of what a facelift does, and then you're tying it to your product. So you're anchoring that product to some other thing that the consumer already understands. With online advertising that we do today, you could take a photo of the little results and then tie that to your ad, so you don't have to do it through writing. And but that was a very famous offer, and for a product that did very, very well. You can find those results online. But with that, the reason why I bring that up is they also said it in their offer that if you don't feel like you had a facelift once you use this product, just send the empty jar back to us. Whether you use all of it, some of it, none of it, doesn't matter. We'll give you your money back. So how cool is that? You're saying, I'm going to basically get a facelift without having to get a facelift. And if it doesn't, which seems insane, I don't hardly believe it. And you're saying if it doesn't do that, you're going to give me all my money back, regardless of how I do it. I'm sold. It's so good, I have to try it. And going back to what I said before, a lot of you guys are going to be afraid to offer a guarantee to your customers, but very, very few people are going to send that product back, which is why they could run that ad again and again and again, and it works so well. Very, very few people are going to actually, because people are inherently lazy. Yes, a lot of people won't go ahead and use the whole product because they're lazy, but that means also that they're going to be too lazy to go get a box, find the address, and where they need to ship it back. They're just going to say, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to send it back. And 10% of people might send it back, but the rest of the people that you're selling to who don't send it back is so profitable, you're going to have that 800+% ROI on your campaign that it doesn't matter. It's just a cost of doing business. It's better to spend a little bit on refunds than it is to spend a whole shitload for customers who never get a refund. That's just generally how it goes as it comes to running PPC and display advertising. So anyway, with that said, I'll wrap it up. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel, as I have a ton of other video content on this channel about other money-making PPC strategies where you can make a lot of money with your PPC, and it's similar to the content that I shared with you today. We give you actual strategies that we're using and have tested at our firm to work, and in which we know the results we get from those strategies, and give those strategies to you on this channel so you can get the same results for yourself. We also tell you stuff that doesn't work so you know what to avoid as well. It's the best information that you're going to find on YouTube or online about actually how to make money with PPC in terms of actual actionable advice. At least that I know of. And if you know better, let me know. I want to read it as well. So there's also a blog at our site at guaranteeppc.com/blog where we have step-by-step instructions on how to build PPC campaigns the way that I build them for our clients here, and which I have written all the blog content on that blog. So if you're looking for more direct advice on how to set up PPC campaigns, you can find great supplementary information there, in addition to what high-level advice I give it to you on this channel. If you have any questions about anything I covered, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. Beyond that, last thing I want to mention is I have a PPC program here at our firm where we're offering turnkey PPC campaigns. So if you're looking to start a business up in one market and just want a PPC campaign that's proven, that's worked for years in that same market where we know the results of those campaigns and have basically fine-tuned it for years, you can use that exact same campaign we're using in that market in a different geographic location that you would not be competing with, and then just tie it in with what you're doing there and get the same results there. So for instance, if you wanted to start up a plumbing company in market A, you can use our multi-million-dollar a year campaign we built for the plumbing industry in market B and get the same results in that market that you're in. Enough of which we have clients who will take that PPC campaign that makes many, many millions of dollars, open up a plumbing business, outsource all the work to another plumber, and just take a 10% cut off the top for themselves and have a business already just off that model. If you're looking into doing something like that, we have tons of other campaigns where we can give you the exact campaigns, landing pages, everything that work for that market. We may even also have campaigns that are ready to go for your exact market, which cuts out all the work you have to do to find the results that we have on our campaigns, or would ever find, given that all I do here is PPC all day in and out, and we uncover everything that's possible to make the ads work better in that market. So anyway, if you're interested in different markets where we have results, e-commerce campaigns even also that we have some results in that aren't being used again for whatever reason, contact our firm. I'll let you know what we have in terms of markets where we have campaigns and the results tied to those markets thereof. Wrap it up with that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in my next video where we have another great idea for you to make more money with your PPC there. See you then.